Do you have one guitar but wish you had more? Or maybe you've got loads of guitars and wish you had less. Is there an answer to this problem? Well, maybe. Stay tuned. Hello there. So maybe you've got one guitar, maybe a Strat, and you're thinking, oh, I'd really quite like a Les Paul, or I could do with an acoustic. Or maybe you've got loads of guitars and you're thinking, oh, I've got nowhere to keep all of these. Or you play in a band and you haven't got room on stage for various different guitars, let alone in the band van. Is there an answer to this problem? Well, Fender certainly thought so, and in the late noughties they collaborated with Roland to give us the VG Strat. So we're going to take a closer look at that today. Essentially, it's an American series Strat, and a beautifully made one, I have to say, this particular example. But it also has pre-built-in modelling or emulation circuitry. So it becomes numerous different guitars with different configurations, and even better than that, there are a whole bunch of different tuning, open tuning and 12-string mechanisms built in as well. Now, sounds fantastic. The idea is it saves us time, effort and energy on stage, less guitars, less things to worry about, quicker response on stage, etc, etc, and just generally greater flexibility. So with that in mind, let's take a closer look at the guitar now and hear it in action. So here's Fender's Roland VG Strat. Before we get into playing it, I thought I'd do the usual, which is to give you an overview of the guitar itself. In this instance, I wanted to start at the back. Although you can see the Charla locking tuners at that end, the most important thing just to note here is the cavities on the back. So we've got a battery power for the electronics, which we'll talk about shortly. We've got the regular trem cover, although it's a brushed metal finish on this one. I'm not sure if that's for longevity or whether that's an earthing issue or whatever, but that's a metal instead of plastic on this model. We've also got the cover plate for the electronics themselves. I'll put some photos in the video with the plates removed so you can see the electronics. They're not user serviceable. They're locked away nice and safe in there. But the idea is to just give you a quick idea of what's what before we turn it over and look at the guitar itself. So here is the guitar. It's based on a regular US series Strat. So what Fender wanted to do was keep it as simple and easy as possible. They didn't want to confuse people too much with the inputs and outputs and user interfaces and all that sort of stuff. So they basically just said, look, you know, we want to keep a regular American series Strat, but add the facility to do something clever with it to make it more usable and versatile in this modern age, for those that wanted that. So just very quickly, the fretboard could be, you could either have a maple neck or a rosewood board on this. Medium jumbo frets, of which there are 22. And you can probably notice on there that the actual radius, it's really rounded off really nicely. It's lovely and soft and easy to play. The radius on this, I think, is a 9.5 inch, sort of regular sort of Strat, modern Strat type layout there for its time. 2010 this one's from. And in terms of the electronics then, which is the most important part for today's video, we've got 3 regular pickups. These are the American series magnetic regular pickups, but we've also got Roland's GK bass pickup in there, which is the located at the bridge, and we've got the 2-point floating tremolo with the stainless steel bridge saddles. So you'll see the parchment scratch plate on there, so that just gives it a bit of a warmer, more aged feel, and there's a lovely 3-tone sunburst finish to the guitar as well. The bodies on these were typically 2 or 3 piece older, but the most important thing to talk about today is the electronics, so we'll move on to those very shortly. Okay, the electronics then. So in no particular order, but let's try not to get too confused on it. First one is the easy one, volume control, just like a regular Strat, so your 0 to 10 master volume, that's easy. You've got one master tone instead of your traditional 2-tone pots, so again that controls every pickup, but it also acts as a reverb control when you're using it as an acoustic emulator. So more about that in a second. So then we'll move on to the mode switch, because this is the one that controls the actual different guitar sounds. So N is normal. That basically acts as a regular Strat. So your three pickups, 5-way switch, that's all engaged. And also if the batteries run out, it will still act as a regular guitar, so you've still got your Strat on hand if you need it. There's a blue light, by the way, a little blue LED that displays permanently on when you're using an emulated sound, and if the battery's running low, it starts to blink, flash to warn you that you need to change the batteries. So that's that. Right, when we move on to the actual modelled sounds then, first one we have is S. So that's a Strat sound, and you may say, well, why do you need a Strat sound on a Strat? Which is a fair question. It's a slightly darker, richer sound, so it's like having a different Strat on hand, but also it then allows you to take control of the tuning features, which we'll come on to in a minute, which you can't do when it's in its normal mode. So that's the Strat. Then you've got the T, which of course is for Tele. Now the great thing about this then is the 5-way switch becomes a 3-way for a Tele sound. So you've got your bridge, your neck, both, and bridge, so it becomes a Tele. You've then got humbucker situation, which again is like having a Strat with 2 humbuckers. So your bridge, both, neck. Then you move on to acoustic. You've then got 5 different acoustic sounds built in, from sort of smaller acoustics, dreadnoughts, pizzos. You've got a resonator, banjo type guitar down there as well. So that's the different sounds. You've got acoustics, which you can dial in your reverb and presence with there. You've got humbuckers, Tele, Strat, and normal. But once you're in these other guitars, you can then go to the tuning modes, which again, you've got your normal mode just there. But then you've got this first position is a D, and that's a drop D. So it's a regular tuning, but just a drop D on the E string. Then you've got your open G, which is D, G, D, G, B, E. Great for, again, in conjunction with the resonator position for that open tuning sound. You've then got D modal, which is your dad-gad, your D-A-G, G-A-D. You've got a baritone there as well, which is B, E, A, D, F sharp and B. Not one that I ever used, to be honest, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to demonstrate that very well today, but we'll have a go. And then finally, you've got your 12 string. And again, you can use your 12 string in conjunction with all your different positions. So you can use whichever combination you like. I really like this guitar for if I'm pushed for space, if I'm going to an event or I just want something handy. On one hand, you could have a regular Strat, say, doing something like, I don't know, some Hendrix or SRV stuff, maybe on the neck position there. And then next thing you know, you could be playing something on a resonator by putting it on acoustic and putting it into open G, for example. So that you can do what you like with it, really. Obviously, it's not going to sound, as authentic and amazing as the real thing, but it does allow you to versatility, if you like, when you're on stage. So anyway, that's enough of me talking about the guitar. Let's plug her in and see how she sounds. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already. We have loads of regular great guitar videos and demos coming out. Also, please leave a comment if there's any questions you have about the guitar or if there's anything you'd like to see in more detail. I always endeavour to answer every comment personally, so I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.